Today I'm going to be talking about volunteer plants real quick. I'm getting ready to weed this entire raised bed here. And one thing that we do in our garden is we let some of our plants go to seed so that they produce seeds and drop seeds and sometimes sprout. So this bed here looks like it's full of weeds, and it primarily is. But before I go with the hoe and I just clear this whole thing out, I'm going to look real close and identify some good vegetable plants that we're going to save, and I'm going to weed around them closely with a precision weeder, and I'll show that in just a moment. But let's take a zoom in and see which out of all these little weeds coming up are actually vegetable plants that we want to keep. So right here we've got little weeds all around here, but right here is an actual lettuce plant. And the leaves are a little bit different in color than all these weedy stuff all around it, so all this stuff is going to come out. Over here we have a sweet cicely, which is an herb that we grow in another bed in the garden. And if we pan over here, we've got this little guy is a small kale. This is Russian kale. We've got another kale plant over here. And we've got, I believe, a cilantro plant right there. So these plants I want to preserve. Some of them I may keep where they are. Some of them I may move. But what I'm going to do for now is I'm going to weed around them with a real close little hand weeder that I love. Very handy tool. That way I can see where these are when I get the big hoe out and I weed this whole bed. So I'm going to weed around these plants with this and try not to take out any good plants. There's a kale there, cilantro. So I'll gently weed around them and leave them in place. I probably won't move them until they get a little bit bigger and stronger. And many of them I will leave in place as long as they're spaced pretty well. And so that is basically free food, and it's no work, and the plants have grown themselves in the climate that they're accustomed to at the right time, so they tend to be very strong and hardy and healthy as well. So that's how I identify and preserve volunteer plants.